It is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess, Mr. Patrick, you can push go now.
Yep, ready to go.
We're ready to go? Okay. All right. There's nothing, no changes on the agenda, right?
No, we just took off there's no liquor license that have come in.
You all right with the accounts payable money?
Yes.
No liquor license?
Nope.
We have fireworks permits just for Mitch Neister.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would make a motion to approve the agenda, accounts payable, and the fireworks permit.
The chair will step down in second. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. You know, last week, went to Isaac. We appointed a new, director of Isaac. Andrea Woodard is her name.
Woodard?
Woodard. Oodard. She's got a lot of background in governmental work. She's worked in the State House. She's worked for different senators, representatives. And she has some new ideas that we thought would probably go better with Isaac. So, and then I came back and attended economic development meeting. Very nice. Yesterday I went to Mission Productions and we had some good news, bad news, whatever you want to call it. We've received some people out of the resource center to go to our houses. One that is takes 2 to 1. The state was paying a large amount up here. And being we are a different type care facility, we have to change some things to qualify for his care cost. Like in the neighborhood of $2,000 to $2,500 difference.
More
for, we have to come out of our own budget. And it's very discouraging, you know, this is not the way it was supposed to be set up, but, you know, when you work with Department of Human Services and stuff, why things get changed. We did get some good news. The government has come up with more ARPA money for foundations like ours, and we're going to get $500,000 to be spread out amongst the employees, and then we can pay for certain other things with it. So that will be, it's nice, it's needed. That's all I got.
Thank you. I also attended the economic development annual meeting. That was a good meeting, good dinner. Always good food.
Ooh.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. And at a juvenile detention meeting, we will be finishing up our end of the year and end of June, obviously, and we will be dispersing part of our capital fund back to the county. So I'll have that number for you hopefully next, probably the second week of July.
Thanks.
That's it for this week.
Well, come around to the table there, Health Board.
No, you got your appointment.
Health board. Get out of here. Sit down.
It's not you guys yet.
No,
No, you can
read
sit
Health
here
Board.
though. Sit down. You're up. Get comfy.
Sure.
Yeah, sit down, get comfy. There's no assigned seating in here. If you want to sit here, you can.
No.
There's one there.
Yeah, there's one there.
Okay, discuss formal action appoint to Health Board. Well, She only knew what she's getting into.
Was this an application or just an appointment that we have?
Uh,
I didn't know.
I talked to Jill.
Okay,
I said there's an opening and stuff. And she checked in to see if an elected official could be appointed to the board. There's nothing in the state code. They called the state, they couldn't find out anything, so she said she'd like to be on the board, and I says, well, we'll bring you before the board and
Yeah.
we'll vote on you or give you a yay or nay.
have you ever worked with budgets before, Miss Jill Ford?
Believe so. Just a little bit.
Good. Well, I would make a motion to appoint Jill Ford.
There's been a motion made and seconded to appoint Jill Ford. Almost blew that one. To the health board, this for 5 years,
3
Yeah, how long is it? 3 years?
Mhm.
3 years.
3-year terms.
Are they all 3 years? It's just a staggered thing.
They're staggered, but they're all 3 years.
They're all 3 years,
Mhm.
okay.
Now there's 2 up,
Two up in
1 year and then
December.
3 up.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Okay, Jill,
you're hired.
Thank you.
wait till you get your first check.
Get with-
and
yeah,
you'll
get-
think, boy,
Get
you're
with
rolling
HR,
in money.
fill out your necessary work to get paid. $0.00, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Good.
Comes out 0.
I know.
Get our winning personalities along with it though.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, general discussion with the health department is new employees start date. Well, I guess I have to ask the auditor or Lonnie or whoever's got an opinion when, this can start.
Jolene already stated that until month end, quarter, and year are all done report-wise. It's not happening unless it was already previously in the beginning of June submitted to her. So
Just for orientation stuff and timing.
for the whole thing, payroll, we've got payroll in the middle of that with a holiday. She's like, nobody is starting work as a new hire, a new employee.
Right, because of all that she has to do. That's what I'm
Right,
asking,
Right,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
She's
gotta
the
close
only
out
person that
everything.
does orientation, so-
She
Well,
is.
it's not just the
Right.
orientation part, but it affects
There's-
how the payroll and we've got to get everything closed out on our end. And then it's like month end, it goes treasurer, then us, and then we have to do more and then back to them with the year. It's a process. It's going to take a while. And she said it would make it much worse if we started doing this.
Is there a rough date that?
She said third to fourth week. Yeah,
Third or
it
fourth
just
July
third to fourth
16th?
week. There's no
Yeah.
date. It's when it's done.
when
It's,
is it?
she has till the end of July to get the stuff done, but she's assuming that she will be done the middle of the month where the third or the fourth week will work. She will let you know.
Okay. Well, I want to, she is coming in as administrator.
She's already an employee, so
She
she starts.
is okay to go.
Yes, it's the new.
It's
yes.
just the new ones.
Yeah.
She was
Uh,
with her orientation.
Then like, okay, what about Sherry? I'm just asking questions.
Sherry Bowen would be a new one.
Would
no.
be a new one even though she's part-time.
She's not part-time. She's nothing on our book. She's not a county employee at this point in time at all.
Okay,
No.
well, I'm just
Yeah.
asking questions. Alex has moved down.
He's still an
he's still
employee
okay.
already. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm.
Yeah.
Who else did we move? Or did you guys appoint was there? Anybody else?
We've got Belinda DeBold, but she's a
She's
new.
She would be new.
Nobody else is moving, like
Okay, it's
internal.
just you and Brenna that,
Yeah.
Right,
And there's just 2 new employees.
Belinda and Sherry.
Yes.
for July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we'll keep you posted. We'll see how things work out. We'll shoot for the 23rd. I'm not gonna tell you that it will work, but we will try,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah. As long as she
Best I
just
can
lets
do,
us
yeah.
know when she's available. We understand.
It isn't that we don't want your people to work. I mean,
No,
We just
but
gotta
they-
get our
they
stuff
get
done.
really
We have a
snowed
limited
in
number
there
of
and-
staff that can
Yeah.
do stuff,
Right.
and yeah.
We-
Well,
No, I
it's-
totally get it.
Okay, got that pretty well. Budget review, questions, concerns from you guys?
No, but I got some numbers that I worked
Okay.
over with Sherry the other day.
All right,
So our expenses through 5/31 that are on the sheets that we got, they total up to 1,287,855. We estimated our June payroll around 60,000. I don't have that final number, so we just kind of went with the estimated, what we thought it was gonna be.
sure.
Our June expenses totaled to be 66,524. So all of our expenses, through today were 1,414,379. Our revenue through 5/31 was 710,153. Our June deposit through 6/24 was 101,106. So that brings a total of 811,259. With a difference between the expenses and the revenue is $603,120.
320. For remaining balance.
That's the county dollars used.
Sure.
That's how you guys are showing it?
Mhm.
Okay. Jolene will have to review that just to make sure, but yeah.
Good.
So we're under the 612 that was budgeted for county dollars.
Could you leave us a copy of that or?
Yeah.
Or have copies made if you need to take it back with you? Whatever.
That's.
I'll take them over. I don't want you shipping.
Yeah, thank you.
Amy, this is the budget at the 155 Sherry and I
Perfect.
put
Yep.
together.
Thank you. That's what we're looking for.
You're on it.
And then I have these grant spreadsheets
Yes.
that we put together. This is a draft. We're wanting your feedback to know if this is what you're wanting and if this makes sense.
Sure does to me.
Because this will kind of be a running thing we'll implement next year and then keep up to date on it.
The bird jag, is that the pass-through one?
No, the
No.
Bets grant is.
The emergency
That's right,
preparedness.
that's it.
So the emergency preparedness will show a larger unspent balance, but that's because it is that pass-through.
Excellent.
We had a lot of roadblocks at the federal level for spending that money this year. We wanted to do this project, but, not that way.
No one
And not
ever
that
has
way.
trouble with federal funding.
Yeah,
I can't believe you did.
we did what we could.
It's frustrating at times.
Well, a lot of the big project was Stop the Bleed. Those kids, and one way we really jump started it, the administrator over for Taylor Adams, her son actually saved her neighbor because he had Stop the Bleed training from Boy Scouts. So
Good,
Oh, thank you.
we were able to get it on the news and everything.
sweet. Be nice to read that press release. If you give some time forward it to me.
Yeah, if I can find the video, I'll send
Yeah.
it to you. It was very cool.
Yeah.
She was very proud of him.
Nice to have good news once in a while.
Yeah.
That is our grant spreadsheet, Richard, that we've been putting together. This is a draft. We'll change whatever we need to make it make sense and work for all of us.
And these are grants that will come in or you will work
Yep.
with?
So these are the ones we have currently for this year,
Okay.
and all of them are, except for environmental, we won't have the well grant
Right.
next year, but all of them will be.
Okay. Then if and when you get new grants that come in, you'll just add it to this sheet.
Yep.
And update us on a monthly basis or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Perfect.
Very good.
I'm good with that. That's wonderful. Thank you.
This will work. Thank you very much.
Of course,
Appreciate it.
of course.
Everything else seemed to be going good?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know, I've been gone
No,
a few
really?
days.
I was gone 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was
so,
just-
Come back and wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't have anything else. We had a discussion yesterday and stuff on a few things and
Yeah.
think
Nothing else.
ready to move forward.
We do
You know,
some fun stuff.
We have
today.
problems.
Inside.
Let's not let them boil. Let's get them to the point and get them done and taken care of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you very much, guys.
thank you.
See you later.
What is this day? This is June 25th.
Miss Elizabeth.
It's
You dropped it.
Oh, thank you. Let's try that.
So I'm here for a couple different things. This is a copy of the bid that we have to do the concrete work in front of the garage, the pad there on the driveway. The slope, the end of that walkway, our sidewalk up there where that's been all broken up, and to include a metal handrail.
Nice.
Yeah, that was hard to get someone. We had a couple guys that said they would try it in wood,
Yeah.
made me nervous, so
Yeah.
This is the handrail at the back door,
on the
right?
back door, yeah.
We're all right with the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the back door, so.
Good.
I have to admit, I wasn't really sure if I came in today and you guys are okay with this, that'll work for the next fiscal year, right, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
starting
yeah,
to think
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to come back in next month or
No.
something, okay.
Nope.
So, at the very bottom of that first page, and then it's on the back too, he just has his boilerplate that says you needed 30 to 50% down, of course, I explained to him we can't do that, so.
Great.
No, we approved this and
Yeah,
We
the
did the
total
budget.
there you go. So
Mhm.
you're good to go.
It still probably needs another formal action just to make it clean, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd make the motion to move forward with No Guzman for the bid of $9,300 to replace some concrete at the Veterans Affairs Building.
I will second. Been a motion made and seconded. Is it no? It's just,
Well, Jim recommended him, Jim showed me recommended,
Right,
I
but
thought
I
it was Noah. I thought when I heard Jim say it, I thought it was Noah. That's kind of what I've been saying, that's what I've been calling him. He's
well,
answering,
I'm just gonna say Guzman Construction. How's that?
yeah,
Any
For a
of
bid of $9,300 to fix the concrete and rating at the Veterans Building. Any further discussion, questions?
Everything working out good down there? It's just,
Oh, it is.
It's a good home, right?
oh, Lord, yeah, it's a
Good.
wonderful fit. I
Good.
did hear from Win, I know this isn't part of your motions discussion, but, it'll be a year before they probably move out of that back room. We're kind
Okay.
of hoping that, yeah, but we're kind of hoping they would, so
Yeah.
we could do some more things back there, but
Yeah.
that's okay, it's still free internet and free phone while they're there, so,
hopes.
yeah, we'll take it.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay,
So then, real quick, just, I just want to let you know, our hot dog days this year is July 25th. That's a Thursday. It'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. It is not, it's still at the Glenwood Park or Lake Park, but it's not up on the hill on the White Pavilion. It's down by the water, so it's hopefully easier access for some of our clientele that shows up. It's our 5th anniversary, so Benchmark Mortgage and Better Homes and Gardens are helping us by bringing more vendors, not vendors to sell things, I should say vendors for veteran services, and additional food, maybe some giveaways and baskets and things like that to just kind of celebrate the 5th year. We're looking at having Wounded Warriors. We're hopefully Iowa Workforce, VA Hospital, Omaha National Cemetery, Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs, Guitars for Vets. We'd like to get someone from the National Guard.
Neat.
And we'd like to get someone from Healing Waters. They take disabled veterans on fishing trips throughout the Midwest.
Cool.
And help, yeah. We did get about half of those are confirmed.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I think that'll be nice. So I wanted to let you guys know that. And I did have one additional thing. It'll just take a second, if you don't mind. One thing that we have seen an incredible increase in filing is for mental health claims. Mental health claims are not just PTSD, that's depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, anxiety. They're just commonplace now. Just commonplace. Everyone gets them. Vet Center is in Omaha off of 42nd Street, up by the VA. And they do counseling for combat veterans. We have tried for the last 4 or 5 years to get a counseling service in Mills County that our vets can use. They have just offered to come at the moment for 3 to 4 hours a month or twice a month. This can bill. We just need a place. I don't have a place to do it in my office because if I have that back room, I'd have a place I could shut a door.
Right.
What they would like to do is offer an hour counseling to begin with, an hour to an hour and a half group counseling, and then an hour individual counseling afterwards. I would ask you to consider, I don't know of any other place, but maybe that new room at the
meeting room at the
Annex?
the new meeting room, the annex, yeah.
Generally, if it, I would say yes, if it's not busy that day
If
or
it's
something, you know, I mean, because that way to me, it's very accessible. It's all flat. All you gotta do is get out. You gotta walk a wheelchair.
Well, and can I say, because there's multiple services there, people don't feel any stigma walking in?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes
I
sense.
really want the opportunity for people to come in because people are very resistant to
And you
this.
can shut the door too.
We can shut the door and, so that's open 8 to 4:30.
I would, who's in charge of that down there? No.
Patrick.
Patrick?
Patrick's the one for the scheduling.
I would check with him, you know.
Okay.
Yes.
Most days, there's not much going on. Evening time, we have certain evenings of the month, every month that it's busy, but you wouldn't be doing this in the evening, would
I'm
you?
hoping not. I'm hoping that Robert Montague is from the Vet Center, and that's just some information on what they do that I gave you. I believe we can do this during the day.
That'd be good.
And we may be doing it for multi-counties eventually. He said he's taking over 11 counties in Southwest
Good.
Iowa.
Bring them
We
here.
really need something. So I would love the opportunity. So if that would work, I will talk to Robert about hours and
Yes.
what he wants.
Yeah,
We
just work
will,
with
we
Patrick
will
on the
do
schedule.
everything
You're
we
good.
can to make it work down here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, because this would be really awesome for our guys.
Yep.
And then last bit of good news, our monthly veteran compensation and pension payments that the government's paying to our veterans in the county has now risen to $1,028,000 a month. That's about 14,000 more than last month. So yearly, we're about 12,300,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so yay.
It's a lot of veterans.
That's a lot of veterans. That's a
And
lot
it's
of people.
money too. I mean,
Yeah.
no,
It's a lot of people, but that's good. And I do appreciate your guys' support.
no, like I say, if there's anything we can do to work with this people, you know, to get them in here and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
because
a
it's
county
a free
building and
service.
county services, so if it's open, use it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, free service. We can get some help for some people.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I
No,
got.
thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you. I think Jill's up.
She is.
Woo-hoo. I hope you can follow that.
Probably not.
Oh, I'm sure you can. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Elizabeth. State your name and who you're with.
Jill Ford with the treasurer's office. Good morning.
I thought we put on a hiring.
Poor lady.
Oh, I know.
Jeez.
I had a gal in my office give notice, so she will be leaving in a couple of weeks. So I need to hire a universal clerk again. she was also my drive giver, so that is gonna be imperative with my new person. I've already told the state that I'm going to have to train someone else. They're willing to do whatever they can to get me back up and running.
Good.
So I'm hopefully, we're only gonna be down, I'm hoping for maybe 3 or 4 weeks by the time we do the hiring and stuff. That's why I thought today, if I came even before she is given,
Yep.
before she leaves, we can get started
Start
on
looking.
this. I would like to start the new person at 65% of my new salary, which would be right around 48,425. Then at the 6-month review, hopefully we can move them up to maybe 67%, which would be in the $50,000 area. It is really hard to get people now without going the extra, with a little bit of extra. It just is not happening. So I would like to get started real soon with the advertising, and I just hate that Melanie is leaving. She has done such a good job. She has learned motor vehicle. She's done driver's license. She does the drive giving.
Plus you can't quit.
Yeah, well, I tried that, but they're giving her $10 more an hour. So I can't compete
Where's
with
she
that.
moving to? Is it another
It's
county?
it's back to the state,
Oh, okay.
doing basically what she did before she came to our office.
Cool. Good
So,
for her.
yes, so I will start getting the applications out. I'll talk to Patrick about getting it online and stuff, and get going on that. So hopefully it won't be a long time before I can get somebody back in that position, so.
I'd make a motion to approve the treasurer to start the hiring process for universal clerk.
I will second.
Obviously, this is in your budget, correct?
Yes, it hasn't been, if I was gonna be a little
For the
bit
treasurer.
left.
If the treasurer doesn't go by her budget, we're in trouble.
Right?
We have a motion made and seconded to authorize or to allow the treasurer, Jill Ford, to hire a universal clerk. Being her one has put her time in and said she's moving on, so we need to replace. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Very good. No,
All right,
do you have any? It's probably been too long since you had applications and stuff, so you'll have to go back and start from scratch.
yes, sir. Yep, but I did pull what I had sent out the last time, and I think it was dated 2021, and it looks pretty much exactly what I need for now.
Good.
Nothing has changed much in what that position is gonna do, so.
Still a bunch from Pot County and other counties rolling in here.
Yes,
Good.
that,
We should get a couple dollars on.
that extra, that convenience fee has been a lifesaver for
I'll
us.
bet.
It really has. It really
It
has.
makes you feel at least appreciated a little bit.
Right. Mhm.
I have zero problem providing services for anybody, but when it's another county that provides a service and they still come to us, it's
And we're-
just shows what we.
And
contribute.
our people are subsidizing it because the
Yes.
state is not giving us enough money.
Right.
Yeah. And hopefully, first of the month, or the first of the year, excuse me, the new titling will go in effect where we'll get an extra $10 to title a vehicle out of county. And, well, that might be all, anybody, I believe, but that's gonna help the revenue
I
there.
mean, even if they come from Pot Company, Montgomery, any,
Yes, on the titling part of it, yes. We can't still register, we can title a vehicle, we just can't register it yet. But I do see that probably in the next few years that's gonna happen too.
Okay.
And that's
talking
gonna,
to a supervisor last night from an area county. And I said, yeah, we get a lot of people from Pot County coming down here and titling. I said, we get the extra money and stuff. Oh, she says, it's nothing but a mess in your courthouse when that shows up. Why would you want all them people? I said, well, I don't know. I said, we kind of enjoy the money, you know? But no, she was totally against it, just absolutely thought it was ridiculous that they come up with something like that, so.
I do think by the time it comes to the registration, that you can go to any county for registration. That's gonna be a real strain on the treasurer's
Sure will.
office.
Mhm.
We're probably gonna have to think about hiring more people because it's it's not gonna be pretty.
Mhm.
And the other thing is people are used to coming here and not having to wait in line for a long time. We had somebody move in the other day from California. They did their driver's license and got their cars registered and titled. And they said out there it would have been 2 days, one in the driver's license, a whole day in motor vehicle.
Here it was
And
2 hours.
yeah, here they were in and out. So
We still have a few hometown values.
we do.
No, there's still people that complain for 5-minute wait, so.
Well, yeah, we have that too, but yes, we try to get them in and out.
Well, we're not McDonald's.
No, we aren't, and we'll never be. It just is, there's too many rules and regulations that we have to follow.
Yep.
And we do, so.
Good.
Well, thank you very much. I will get
Thank you.
working on this and we'll see what we can get done and get some applicants in here. And get somebody. So,
Excellent.
okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, if you guys just want to bump ahead to me, I've reached out,
Do
so
we-
people could come early if they want.
Is there, are we doing a resolution or not? I didn't see it.
She's like,
I don't see a resolution on here.
I have it here. She doesn't have it on the agenda, it looks like.
What's that?
To move the environmental health department underneath the P and Z.
Yeah.
I was under, no, I think it's under the board. Wait, maybe it's under you guys.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not. Mm-mm. I have to have it on the first thing then on July.
Oh, I'll send an email. I think I mentioned like 2 weeks ago for the next one, July 1. Josh was asking if the school resource officer signed too, because he has to be present to sign.
Okay, send something on that.
I'll send you an email.
Okay, perfect. Yep. Okay, so I have a resolution for you guys. This is basically just saying that all the credits that the assessor sent up and everything that they've gone through, you guys are just approving them rather than having to sign each and every page.
2411.
No, that's a roll call. It's under my name.
Just have the resolution out.
Yeah.
I will make the motion to approve resolution 2411 regarding the homestead credit applications.
I will second.
Okay, it's roll call. So Crouch,
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve resolution 2411 on homestead tax credits. Do I have to read this or? you-
no, it'll be in the minutes.
Okay. Roll call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roll call.
Crouch,
Yes.
Mayberry.
Yes. I think we should still make the chairs sign each one of them individually, though.
That could be fun.
We used to sign, you know.
I know.
About this thick.
I know. That's why the
Yeah, it's a
counties
big
are going to
file.
this.
Yeah.
The time
That's
saver.
torture. That's just plain torture.
It's kind of fun.
Okay, do we want to do anything else?
You can do your
Chantry
stuff.
Drainage District?
Yeah.
How much into who?
So it is a bill from,
Jennings.
thank you.
I can't,
Still?
So yeah, $400. Where'd you guys go? Look at that.
He has been a blessing for that
oh,
drainage
Lonnie,
district.
or not Lonnie, boy, Lanny.
Yeah.
He says, don't ever fire him.
No.
Cause he says, we'll never find anybody to take care of it, you know, and it's,
Well, and I thank him for taking care of it. I'd make the motion to pay that claim also to,
David, didn't it?
Yeah.
David Jennings for the amount of $400 even.
I will second. There's been a motion made and seconded on the Chantry Drainage District claim of $400 for spraying trees and keeping the drainage area clear. Is there any further discussion?
Have none.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay,
It's part we need to wait, so,
you want to take a break
yep, you guys have a pause until the next people are arriving.
until somebody shows up?
You pause that or just let it fly?
Are we back on, Patrick?
Yep, live.
Okay, Aaron, reason I called, and we had a little visit and stuff, we've had some issues with insurance, especially with the sheriff's department, and I got several phone calls wanting to know, was it all right to pay these claims and stuff? I generally don't get anything from ICAP. And then we had one with the radio transmitter. I thought, well, this is odd. So I went down and talked to Travis. Travis knew nothing about it. Then we got a hail and policy or a claim, and they sent out hail and people to look at the rainwater that was in the building and stuff. So there's some issues, and there's just things aren't being done. You know, we're back to the same old program, you know, not keeping up on things. We got a lot of stuff that we wonder whether it's covered or not, you know. So that's our complaint, you know, we feel that, you know, we're a little tired of going through this. We shouldn't have to. And then the sheriff's department, you know, I think they got everything put together finally for the auditor. But there's also machines up here. We wonder whether they're covered under a policy, whose policy, you know. I'm not an insurance person, but, you know, we're just not too satisfied with the way you've been handling things, or the way your department's been handling things. So we would like to hear from you.
Okay. First of all, if there's any questions, I'm a phone call away. And I have not received any phone calls regarding any coverage questions up here or anywhere. Just if you have a question, just give me a call. I can answer it. As for, I'm really surprised on the claim because I did have an email from Travis right here regarding the radios.
After I talked to him, he said, well, I got to find out.
Okay.
And the way it came to me, it was a radio transmitter. And Sabrina, did you receive that one first?
Not on that one.
Okay, it went to another department first, and they sent it to me, and I'm going, but okay, whatever.
Okay, well, first of all, Travis is still within his first year. Okay, so he did get a hold of me. We talked, and Larry Hurst, he's worked his tail off, and he got the entire county these incredible radios. Okay, but they're all insured under emergency management. Okay, which with a phone call, I could have let you know right away. And so I have the copy of the claim, the filing, the estimates of everything I'm not sure I've supplied the estimates, but that was sent over to the company right away. As soon as I got the notice from Travis, the claim was filed and it was sent directly to ICAP. As for the wrong hail damage, that I have an email telling me we had, and in the email it says we have water damage from the storms. We just had a huge hailstorm come through. Newer building. I'm assuming hail damage did the damage to the building. And
Sabrina, can you, I don't mean to interrupt, can you answer any of that as far as?
Yeah, we had talked about this when he called too. It was, as far as I know, we haven't gotten the final estimates from ICAP yet, but it's something in the flashing or the roof, something in that is what's caused it, but I haven't gotten the official word.
Okay.
so when I got the email from Sabrina stating that there was water coming in, I automatically assumed after the large hailstorm, and I believe in the email that she sent me, she even mentioned the large storms we've recently had. And so I submitted it as hail. Now, I do want you to know when it comes to the claim filing with ICAP, I do not know that there are two separate, one who does just hail and one who does the other property.
Okay.
So that is an honest mistake, which was corrected pretty quickly. And I did call Sabrina last week after I heard about the worries and was informed that all the claims are with ICAP are currently being handled.
Good.
You're sending most of them direct to ICAP,
My
right?
last one, yes.
And which one was the one sent directly to ICAP?
That would have been the 2023 Dodge Durango deer hit.
And may I ask why it was sent directly? Because I have probably your last 6 claims that show where you called, where you emailed and reported me, and it was forwarded on to ICAP within 24 hours.
The windshield one was our last one that we had the issue with.
And I would like to apologize about, that was the one that went just a little over 24 hours because I was out of town and accidentally deleted that email. And when you called, Veldine right away, with the amount of claims that you have had, she immediately filed it with ICAP, who it was too late to get it repaired and you were needing the vehicle. So that's when we reached out to Safelite, knowing Safelite would get the window repaired and ICAP would take care of the claim.
Safelite had it as a direct pay, so they wanted a check from us directly and not through ICAP. So we had to call Safelite and redo the whole claim to where they could bill ICAP for that.
Okay, and that was, I'm sorry to say, but Safelite was directed that it was an insurance claim and that it was to be the ICAP. And we did reach out to Safeco and they said Safelite. And we do apologize for the mix-up, but it was supposed to be billed to ICAP and they billed it to you and we had told them to do that. And I do want to apologize because I tried to listen to the meeting last week. I just got bits and pieces based
It was
on the volume.
It was really
I
muffled.
couldn't understand everything. So I'm going to bring up a few things that I heard, but I just want, one thing I heard was the Wabansi Church.
Yeah, and then Katie said that it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in there and she said, yeah, that is, and that's why.
Yep.
Yep.
That has been on there ever since we took over the policy. And I believe they've had one roof claim in all the years.
And they do write a check, she said. That was,
Yeah.
Went in there and checked on that right
Yep.
away. Yep.
Well, Aaron, it's just that, here we are again back to trying to keep things straightened out and stuff and, there's other departments that's complain to me, well, he does all right if you wait long enough and stuff, or, are we totally covered,
Yeah, I'd like to ask.
That's my biggest worry is whoever's in charge of the department, do they take time or do you take the time to go down and go through things? To see that especially roads department, one of our largest ones.
He brings in his change requests all the time. And this year I sent in an email with a list of all the coverages, everything that was on there. And I asked him to please review it and let me know. And he sent it back with there's maybe 2 or 3 changes that needed to be made. And everything seemed fine. This year I didn't because you guys are going through a transition. So she was on her last week, I believe. So I just sent down the information to her to go over. And like I
Is that
said,
Kim?
yeah,
Yeah, Mark said it, he looked at it.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
went through, and there was, the one thing is the main changes were they're covered no matter what, okay? But there was a couple where we had one piece of equipment that was listed in, let's say, Silver City, another one was listed in Mineola, which they're covered no matter where they're located at, but I went in and made sure that they were switched around to the right location. Which those pieces of equipment gets changed all the time throughout the year. I mean, they'll move them to different locations, so that's hard to keep up with, even for them to notify me all the time. And so that's why I do. It is covered no matter what. Also, I did hear regarding the coverage at the jail and about something about there are jails always towards the end because that was one of the last ones. Okay. We have $275,000 in personal property coverage. Personal property coverage covers what is at the location. Okay. Anything outside off the location falls under miscellaneous property unscheduled, which is covered up to $10,000 per item. Anything over 10,000 needs to be scheduled on the policy. You don't have any items that's over 10,000. You've got so with that, your officers go out in the field, their bulletproof vests, their equipment, any of their firearms are covered under the miscellaneous property unscheduled equipment. So it doesn't get lumped into the 275,000.
Does the 275,000 cover all of the jail cells, the video equipment, the monitoring systems, the computers, all of that?
Yes, it does.
But there'd be no way we could replace even the jail cells for $275,000.
Okay. Then that's something we need to discuss and get changed. If we want to go even further into this, I have always done this where we have an additional $66,000 coverage just as a cushion for anything that might happen, that if there's something lacking somewhere.
Run that by me again.
It's just an additional $66,000 coverage, and it's miscellaneous, unscheduled personal property. It falls under any department that needs the coverage. So if in case there is a claim and it is higher than what is listed, you do have this $66,000 cushion.
Like I say, I'm not an insurance guru or understand it, but it seems like we have an awful lot of different policies that I guess we're paying for. I mean, you have one at 275,000 at the jail. You've got $10,000 here. You just come up with another $56,000 here.
Are they separate policies or separate?
They're just separate coverages within the same policy.
Within the same.
Brandon, you got more questions or not?
I just know we have to redo our buildings, both that and the garage, because neither one of them are gonna cover rebuilding.
Okay, now, on the buildings, ICAP controls all the coverage on the buildings. They have the square footage, they have everything, they're through their system, they set the coverage. Now, the personal property is something we'll have to sit down and discuss.
Yeah, for sure, but am I misunderstanding when ICAP was here, they said that our buildings were not covered for the right amount? When we talked
That
about
was
it,
brought up, but, we haven't done anything about it,
right?
So then we write a policy with ICAP then on the buildings alone?
No, everything's all together. Everything's in one package, but what it is ICAP, let's say, let's give an example of this is for the city of Glenwood. They just built a new concession stand, bathroom, all that down at the baseball fields. City calls me up, they give me the dimensions, how it's built, and I tell them that the city had it built, this is what it cost them. They come back and said, well, replacement cost is actually this amount. Well, probably, because whoever did it for the city probably gave them a discount and all that. So we had to insure it a little bit higher, because based off what the information that is given us on what kind of buildings they are, how they're built. I mean, like, you got your masonry, you got your frame, what kind of roofs they are. And then you got your square footage. ICAP has a program that they punch it in and they tell you how much it's insured for. Now, if there has been some changes to the building, then we send that to ICAP and let them know that this has been added on, and then they let us know what the new value is. So on the building, I can go down there, refigure what all the dimensions is, and ask ICAP to refigure it.
I think they talked about coming here to do a walkthrough anyway, just to make sure that you guys and everybody were on the same page.
Okay.
So I'm sure they contact you when they do it.
Yeah. They have a loss prevention, plus they have another team that comes around every 3 years that checks every building, and will then come back and let us know that this building is being changed to a new amount.
Well, we got bit pretty hard with the one in Malvern when the roof fell in from the snow and stuff,
And I'd like to say one thing, that is an ICAP issue, not my agency issue. And if the building would have been maintained properly through the years, that would not have happened. And I went to bat for you guys. When they denied the claim right away, I kept going until they brought a structural engineer down. They actually brought a structural engineer down to view the building, and they said, no, it was that the weight of snow did not damage. It was because it was 7 or 8 layers of shingles put on a building designed for a metal roof. And that is why the rafters cracked. If that wouldn't have happened.
This is some things that we gotta stay on top of, because you got a building in Malvern, you got buildings in Emerson, you got buildings in Hastings, and you got buildings here in Glenwood, and I just don't feel that we're getting the coverage or getting the service we need for all the variety of insurance that we have to carry. I mean,
well, I just want to throw out a couple points here. Last fall, went golf with my son down in Shenandoah. Come back through Shenandoah, I drove down, I got into Emerson, went by the building, the maintenance building in Emerson, just to check it out. I used to volunteer. I used to be a substitute school bus driver when they needed me to. I drive down Railroad Avenue every day. A few months back, driving down Railroad Avenue, I look over at the new engineers building. There's a building already completed, all done. 3 garage, nice bay offices. I had not been called. I had not been notified. There was even a building being built. I called right away and I had coverage put on that day.
Well, I don't think the sheriff's department should be going through what they're going through to get their claims taken care of by calling Isaac personally and having that done. Well,
I would like-
why is she having to do this?
I see one claim where there was a problem. The others, honestly, they are sent, she emails them to me and they are sent to ICAP within 24 hours. I've got emails right here. I have the email where she sends it in and the turnaround time of when we file the claim. Now, due to all the storms and due to how busy ICAP is right now with their claims department, it might take a little bit longer for ICAP to be getting back to her. But I do have the proof where the claims were filed. Now, the one, she filed it in the morning. We didn't get it filed till the next afternoon because I was out of town. And the first thing I do when I'm out of town is I check all my emails. And we have about 100 emails a day, and I accidentally deleted that email. But as soon as Valdine was notified, we jumped to the gun to get her a new windshield. And we do apologize that Safe Flight did not understand that it was supposed to be billed to ICAP and not to the county.
I know we're having an issue with ICAP not getting any of our stuff that we send over for whatever reason. You and I talked about that they're not getting any of our reports, our pictures, our estimates or anything. So I'm having to re-email it once it does get it.
And I don't understand why they're not getting them, because you send them to us and we forward them directly to them. And
When I did the claim myself, you click on it and you just drag and drop them in and it goes to them. But you're saying that you email them.
I
So
email
I don't know why it's different.
Well, they're giving, I'm not sure either. Also, because it used to be where we did everything online and now they're requiring us to send it by email. And I don't know if they've changed something for the customers to do different once the file is claimed. I mean, once the claim is filed, they might have a program set up for you to be able to do all that stuff.
No, this is before it's claimed.
Okay, well, they have changed their system to where we're not able to do that. We have to email them to us. They will not accept them unless we email them. So I am not sure why they're not getting that. And
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
find
not
out.
sure because ICAP said they're giving me the same access they're giving you.
Yeah, and
So I don't know if we both have the same access and the same code. I don't know why
And as soon as
I can see it and you can't.
yeah, and as soon as I get it, and you get a code.
You go online, you submit the,
See, we are not given that option. They say they're working on it. Right now, they say they're working on it, but we have to do everything by email. And so everything that's sent to us is transferred, is forwarded on,
yeah, none of it's getting uploaded into the system.
and
And
I will check with ICAP on that because that's gotta be an issue. I don't know why, because I don't know if it's with the system, because when you do send us the files, the photographs, everything, it's a very large email that we forward on. And so I will double check to make sure why they're having issues with us, and also why you get to go through one area of doing it and we're doing it through another. But I do know, I've talked to them and they said that with the new claims processing, they are they're making us do it this way, but it's going to be changing soon. And so I will get an answer for that. Why our stuff is, because I did go through and I found a couple undeliverable emails from ICAP, and we will get it where it says undeliverable, and then we have to resend it, and then it goes through. So I will double check with ICAP. That could be an issue with how large of emails we're trying to send them and what they're allowed to accept. But I know,
I always, ours is stuck at 20, so I mean, if I can get it to you, it should be able to go right to them, because all you're doing is forwarding it.
that's all I'm doing is just forwarding it directly to them.
Yeah.
But I can let you know, I have had several where it comes back to me from the claims at ICAP Iowa that it is undeliverable, and then
Yeah, and I'm just going by what ICAP tells me, that
Yep.
I have the same access you have, you guys we go through the same processes, so.
And I will double check that and let you know. And as I said last week, I do believe a couple of our issues we have is just communication that I'd like to sit down and go through with you.
Yeah, because I've been here 7 years, I know we've had 4 meetings scheduled, but I haven't, until today, I've never even seen you at the sheriff's office at all.
Yeah.
So do you two feel there is an issue between your department, his agency, your department, ICAP and his agency? What,
I guess my biggest thing is we don't have the good insurance, and we haven't had any meetings, and just the same stuff I talked about last week. I know that this is an issue, I know others have this issue, I just happen to be the only one who came.
Okay, and I would like to know who else is having the issues, because I have not heard from anybody.
Travis Hitchcock,
Okay, and we just talked about that.
Yeah.
And,
and I know they've had issues.
And I
know
have-
they had issues last year too.
and well, I know the issue we had last year was the fact that your the prior emergency management person completely under budgeted what the premium was gonna be. I mean, it wasn't even, what he budgeted wasn't even close to what he paid for the year before. And I have sat down and worked with Travis and on these items. And Travis has and he calls me with this question. I'm just surprised there's an issue, because Travis has a tough job because he's dealing with 2 different departments that's under 2 different sets of coverage.
Right.
And so,
I don't know, did anybody else bring back their items with things that were,
Nothing major, not like what you guys were having, but we heard back from recorder and treasurer. I think more so with this building, it was just questions on like, are the computers, the contents,
Yeah.
the generators, the chiller, are they covered? Is all
Yes.
that, okay, that was just a question. I hadn't even reached out to you yet because I knew you were coming in on that. But I think, and you just had a few things that needed to come off, I believe. Is that correct?
They just changed.
Yeah,
And
right.
That's not something we've notified him about.
No, right.
So,
So but I didn't hear back from all the departments. It was the recorder, the treasurer, Patrick, you.
Well, why don't you get with ICAP and figure out when they're gonna come down, and that way you can all be on the same page doing walkthroughs, whether it's the sheriff's, secondary roads.
Nobody else from.
The way I understood it, ICAP does this, so when, not just Mills County, but they're gonna go, like you said, hit each county, city, whatever they insure, and do walkthroughs. And
they do walkthroughs to make sure everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
But the main thing, when they do their walkthroughs, is they also will set up new price adjust. I mean,
Sure.
it's called replacement cost estimators on the building. Every building you guys
Right.
have is on replacement
Well,
cost. So
there's inevitably some equipment
it's
that we either
always-
have or had and
Yeah.
new or whatever. And
And
just to make sure that what we have is insured and we're not insuring something that's gone,
exactly.
you know, so.
yeah, and if there's, I feel this is important for looking at our outside buildings and stuff. Yeah, they don't get the care and maintenance that maybe we do in the yard down here. But if it's something that we need to take care of to keep our coverage
Yeah, let us
where
know.
it's good.
Yep.
This is something they and you both should look at. And I feel that, I'm gonna blame both of you, it's very lax. But looking for county dollars, not to be wasted or anything, why, I think that's something that needs to be done.
Okay.
Soon.
And like I said, I can do that. And also, you guys should have the renewal by now. And we do not have it. And I'm not throwing blame other than we couldn't file it. You guys had a bunch of changes to your budget. The budget was constant, you know. I couldn't file it until we had a finalized budget, and it got to the point where I filed it anyway. Because they give you 60 days before renewal to have it turned in. And if it goes past 60 days, if it's inside 60 days, they add a 25% increase. And with the budget issues, it was, I sat down with Amy and we,
But not on this part of it. That was just on the people.
yeah, that was on, you know, just
That was the bonding and stuff.
no, that was,
We didn't go through this. We didn't go through.
this is the items that we went through, where we went in and, you know, where total operating expenses, conference board expenses, your capital projects, you know, this is the number where I came,
Okay, I don't remember.
we came and sat down and went through all that. And we had to wait until it was finalized, you know, and finally, we went ahead and when we talked, I said, well, is any of these items going to probably get changed? And you said no, so I said, well, then let's just get it sent in.
Those aren't, are those into ICAP then? Because those aren't the correct numbers. Because when ICAP came in, they weren't the right numbers.
For off the budget information?
Well, you said the whole packet.
This is just the rating supplement.
Right, but like the amount of officers, the conservation, all of that, did you go over all of that?
No,
Okay. Because I was gonna say, those aren't correct.
Okay, what were they off?
I gave that paper to ICAP, but I'll have to get a copy from her.
is the sheriff in that pile?
Yeah, it just said it's
Sheriff?
figured, it's highlighted and it says it's ICAP has the new.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what
Okay,
that's
and
it. You just looked at it right there.
can't remember, I apologize because I don't remember who I talked to, but I was under the assumption there's no changes.
You talked in our office?
No, it was something with the budget and I believe it said no, I was told no changes, but I probably should have reached out to you on that.
Yeah, we have quite a few changes and
Well, those changes
The
need to be gone over with ICAP and you to make sure we're all on the same page. Let's
yeah, because we haven't had a meeting about this at all.
let's get them updated. Set up a meeting and get with her and ICAP and
Yeah, I'd like to see
secondary
that,
roads.
I'd like to see that take place in the next couple of weeks.
Mhm.
I don't think we need to drag this out.
I'd like
Well,
to,
July 1 is
July 1 is
renewal. We gotta do it this,
Can
you guys gotta
can you
get
get it done next week, or I mean, where we at?
This week.
It has to be
this this week.
This
The
week.
first is, but if you're saying you already submitted it, then it's too late.
no, they haven't even filed, they haven't even issued the thing yet, so it's not too late.
So what did you file?
ICAP sent us a renewal. We got that email. So
I had officers with
No, I mean, what did you submit? Did you submit the whole thing? Like, that's already filed?
No, there's two different things. There's a rating supplement, which is what this is. This is what I send in for them to set up a rate for us to find out what it's gonna cost. Okay? Now, and then the separate one is the actual policy that has not been received yet.
Okay, you haven't received.
No, we have not received the policy.
And that's what's due July 1st?
That's what comes in July. That's what we receive July 1st.
that's why you guys need to get together next week or this week.
Okay, I guess we all need to get together.
Yeah, we do with
I
secondary
leave
roads and
today
everybody.
for the
so
week
Is this,
for Des
this
Moines.
isn't matching what ICAP said last week? So,
We'll get it done now,
okay.
this week.
Okay.
You get together with her and get her taken
You
care
Yeah.
tell me the time, the date, and I'll be there. And, like I said, I tried to listen in and
of.
It was all muffled last
all
week.
the,
It was so
all the ICAP, all the ICAP stuff was not, I couldn't understand.
We're
what they were
evolving here
saying.
too. It'll be different again next week.
And-
We'll get there.
And like I said, if it's I think communication issues,
Exactly.
we'll get that fixed and taken care of. If I honestly, if I don't come in unless you guys need me in here. I usually deal with all the heads. So if you guys want me to come in once a month, just to see, hey, what's going on,
would
or
say
if you
once
want me
a
to come in every quarter,
Quarter probably wouldn't hurt,
I
Aaron.
can do that. That's not an issue.
But the main thing now is get ICAP down here in the next 2 days or 3 days, get this taken care of so it can all be filed on time. That's our big issue.
And get
Okay.
with the department heads,
Okay,
especially
work
the
with
sheriff
you.
and secondary
Okay.
roads.
All right?
so the only one I'm hearing so when you talked to ICAP, who was it that said that there was things that were off on the supplement?
No, I don't
Was it
recall that.
Casey? Okay, I will call Casey when I get back to the office.
Do that.
And then, once I talk to Casey, I will call you and we can set up an appointment this afternoon or tomorrow, whatever works.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Kate, looks like you're up next. Now you have to come to
We're
front and
always
center
ready
so
for
that
Kate
you can
McGann.
talk to Mr. Owl here. you know.
What? Oh, great. Excited. Okay, so I'm here obviously representing East Mills Child Care Solutions, and thank you for your maybe somewhat controversial
$50,000.
gift to our 501c3. Part of that contract was that every year, prior to the end of the fiscal year, someone from our group would show up and sort of give you an update. And so that's why I'm here.
Sure.
So since we were last year, probably a year and a half ago, I would guess, we did receive the ARPA funds from you. And so then from here on out, it's just an annual pledge amount out of the general fund is my understanding. That we'll get first starting this fall. So the project cost has sort of fluctuated. We started with a number from Alley Pointer Mikado, our architect, in the $5 million range. Then we hired a cost consultant to actually verify that what they were estimating is accurate. That bumped the cost up into the $6 million range, which seems crazy to me.
A lot.
And then, so we've done some sort of scaling to the project to make it more economical. Because one of the challenges we're going to face is just staffing the center, and everybody's facing staffing challenges. And so it's not realistic probably to assume we could open at full capacity anyway. So what it's looking like we're going to be doing, if you think about that building, the old nursing home, so there's 3 wings, a north wing, a south wing, and a west wing. We are planning on, we'll officially decide this tomorrow, but it's looking like we're going to open 2 of the 3 wings initially, and the 3rd wing, the north wing, will be, which is the smallest wing, will be for a later stage. That gets the project cost down to about $4.5 million, and gets us about 80% fundraised. We're planning to go to bid at the end of the summer, so that we can award a bid hopefully this fall. They can do winter work since it's all inside. So that we can get open probably the second half of next year. So that is where we're at. We just opened our public fundraising. So prior to now, we've been just raising funds through grant writing and larger corporate contributions, sort of finished that phase. And now we're just going out to the general public, which in this economy with people struggling with how much everything costs is not maybe been as quick as we'd hoped it to be, but we're still making really good progress. We got another grant yesterday. We've got a couple more large asks out there that we think will come through. So
It's a good project.
yeah, it's going well. It's desperately needed, not just on the eastern side of the county, but over here too. So we appreciate the Board of Supervisors recognizing what we see as an economic development issue.
Back to the contribution, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Mhm.
$50,000 of ARPA immediately.
150 of ARPA immediately.
150.
Yep. And then.
And then how much annually?
50, right?
I believe it's 100 what's left, so I think it's just 20 a year from here on. Do you have that contract with you?
I believe I do. This has got more stuff that's been put in it besides these. No. Okay, yeah, you're correct. 150 be paid the first fiscal year, then 20 in October, 20 and 25, 26,
Yeah.
27, and 28.
So
yes.
a 5-year pledge from here on.
Yes.
For 5 years.
Yep. We've received our funds.
So 150 and then another 100 over 5 years.
Yep.
That's, I knew it was something along that line. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Any questions? The Lakin Foundation did the ground across from the nursing home and is putting up a, what I believe is going to be a 24-plex. So that area is getting some much needed love in town. The city just awarded a contract to redo the street and infrastructure going down, which I believe that's.
We might
Ninth
need a
Street.
few bumps fixed.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Couple ditches.
Yeah, so they'll be fixing that street and then the one in front of the school that's been destroyed due to the construction. So
I think the
Yeah.
construction company's paying for part of the street structure, so.
I don't know for sure. So,
Perfect.
so hopefully by the time someone comes next summer, construction will be well underway and we'll be getting
Very
close to
good.
opening.
Very good. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good to see.
All right,
A few words
Do
always
another one.
help.
what's that?
I said a few words always help.
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Kate. Did you come in today?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
Yeah,
looking
he
at closer
coming in
till
last.
10:30.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be later on. I just think she was still gonna make it or not.
You
I will,
always take a nap while the other.
Right.
I will
Already gone
tell
through
them
break.
to please reach out.
Looks like Andrew's up next, according to
Yeah, I think
the paper.
Jake wants to be here, so just a moment.
Step up and take a seat. We
All
won't
right.
beat you up too bad.
All right, well,
The hot seat.
so I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was here with Jake, and we are talking about a project down South Pacific Junction, 195th and Kelting, Feed Energy. They're reopening their plant, doing an expansion, and they're working with BNSF because part of their expansion will be to do some more switching in their little rail yard there, so they can have access to more rail so that they can do their transloading. I don't know all the details of exactly what they're going to be doing, but part of it is transferring things from rail to truck. So there'll be about 70 trucks in there per day. We met with them and BNSF, and BNSF said that in order to do that, put in the equipment, and just because of the nature of the yard, the way need to use the space to put cars on there, that will need to permanently close the Kelting Ave crossing there. So it's been closed. My understanding it's been closed for 5 years, and that.
Is it still closed? Is it closed right now? Is it? Okay. I drive by the 185th and 34, but I never really go down Kelting much.
They
So
ripped that crossing out on the main line.
when they lifted it to
The siding has crossings in it, but the main line was gone.
okay.
Yeah. So that's my understanding. So they came to Jake and myself and asked for that, and I said, well, it would obviously require an active resolution by the county, I think, is the way it goes. But then also I said we wanted to give a chance for landowners to come and talk about it, how it impacts them. Mark Lincoln, our now past president of Mills County Economic Development Foundation, reached out to the surrounding landowners and had conversations. And so we wanted people to have a chance to come in and let you guys know what the impact of doing this would be on them. So we're not asking for anything right now.
No action taken.
No action today. We just wanted to have that open up for conversation, and then anticipating we would probably come back in sometime soon to have that.
So what do you guys have to say? Man, if you guys want to sit up here, look at that, yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. Sit wherever you want.
There's room.
I dream about that. The last 5 years, the crossing has been closed. BNSF made a unilateral decision to close it. The times that I've talked to Lonnie, I've talked to the secondary roads engineer at the time, didn't even know it was closed. I've got 400 acres of grain that has to cross that crossing. They go into the grain bins, they're on the west side. Neighbor to Feed Energy. My dad sold the ground to Feed Energy. And a couple times, I don't know if they'd be interested in buying more ground or not.
They do say this would be a first phase and an expansion, but not defined or promised to do that expansion.
Have they mentioned anything? I talked to Robin
Yeah, that's
in February.
Yeah.
She mentioned that this is a new process that they're developing, and she mentioned second or third quarter next year of 25 before they may be making any commitment. Have they boosted that? Have they accelerated that?
They have not like committed to anything yet, but they need to get this figured out before they would be able to do that.
Right.
And so I know they've got people down there. I went down there to kind of put my eyes on it not too long ago, and I saw a bunch of activity down there.
They're doing a lot of interior work on their building right now.
Yeah.
I have a question. Okay, where this crossing is, or where it goes, the road is closed and stuff. Is this where they're gonna put in part of their yard system then, where they're gonna block the road with cars and block it with actual rail cars?
I believe that. So there's 2 or 3 sidings in through there, and so the way, if you want to zoom out a little bit, yeah. So or zoom in, but yeah. So there's a couple there. I don't know that they're putting in additional siding. I think they'd have to do it over here, but this is basically the halfway point in BNSF referred to it as a yard to me, but this is, the halfway point. And so they said in their design standards, what they do is they would put the switches right here so that then they can stack half a mile one way and half a mile the other way.
Lonnie, was this closed when, like, just for the flooding? Is that the reason it was
I think that's
closed?
when they closed it, was 19, wasn't it?
It was open in 19. What I noticed was that there was a burn hole in one of the railroad ties they used as a crossing in the middle between the rails. Wasn't long after that that crossing was gone. I was just assuming that was going to be replaced. They considered that needed to be replaced, but
I just figured it was flood.
we've been waiting a while for them to replace it.
Yeah, it's not in
And
great shape.
I have to, I'm gonna apologize. I didn't know this was closed.
Yeah,
I
this has
didn't
been a
either.
pain in my butt.
Well, I can see that, yes.
The real hard part of this, Richard, is all of that ground I know gone, and the sergeants might have the same problem, but specifically for me, I mean, the ground that I have an easement through Feed Energy to service my grain bin, which are just north of that.
Yep.
Feed Energy's been poaching on my ground the last several months to empty their rail cars. Well, they don't have an easement to be on me. That's something else. But, so what we have to do is we have to go around. We load trucks in the field, which for the last several years has been okay. We haven't had any problems with that. But if we have a normal year and it's not dry,
So you have
I
to,
can't get trucks in and out of the field.
so you have to go clear around and come in on the west side of PJ back to your bin site.
Yes, sir.
And Donnie, you've got land on the other side.
Yeah.
If I got my directions right, you're talking about land on the east side of the railroad tracks,
Yeah.
which would be here in this corner or further east.
Runs all the way along from the gravel road clear to.
Yeah, you
And
got,
then the southeast corner of that the rail intersection,
Okay.
that's Dawn's.
he's also got ground south of the United suppliers there too.
But I gotta do the same thing as Matt. When I get ready to move, gotta load everything up, down the highway, down from Merrill, Sergeant Lip. Winter, the truckers got to go back around. And unlike that, I went down there one day, it was closed, the barricade was up. And I thought, well, maybe there was something going on because they was wanting to develop that in there. Maybe the railroad was going to redo the crossing, whatever. And it just kept dragging out and dragging out and dragging out. And now they want to close it, I guess, forever.
Do you know, has Jake been aware of this, or, I mean, this is the
I
first
haven't
I,
spoken with Jake. I think he.
Yeah, well, so, yeah, I think Jake's awareness came when Feed Energy and well, I had a meeting with BNSF and Feed Energy. Feed Energy went to the railroad and said, hey, here's what we want to do. And the railroad said, hey, here's what we would need to do to accommodate that. And at that meeting, they said we would need to close Celtic Ave. So I said, well, let's bring in Jake. So we had another meeting with Jake. And then we said, okay, well, then it would obviously have to be, I would assume it'd have to be vacated by the county. And so we said, well, let's talk to the board of supervisors and reach out to the landowners and let everybody know what they're looking at doing, what they're going to be asking for. And then the railroad, so I've asked the railroad, is there a way we can do this and keep it open and keep the crossing open? And they said no. And I said, well, would you ever, if they don't do this, would you reopen the crossing? And they said that would basically be a local decision that they'd have to, I think we would have to rebuild the crossing. So they gave no indication that they had any plans or any requirement to rebuild it.
BNSF just not.
They didn't. Sometimes when you ask them questions, they don't really directly answer your questions.
Really?
But they basically said, in my mind, I was like, if this doesn't happen, would you guys have to fix the crossing? And they basically said there's not a crossing there right now.
I didn't hear your expansion. What is your expansion going to be to Feed Energy?
Well, right now they've said they're going to reopen their facility and the expansion that they're doing has to do mostly with logistics at this point, I think, right now. So they're going to be using this location to transload material. And I think it's going to be coming in from either other plants. I think they get stuff up Bungie. I think they work with ADM plants across the Midwest, and they'll be bringing it here. It's my understanding, putting some of it on the trucks and processing some of it, and so they'll be taking things on and off of rail cars. So they'll be using a lot more rail cars than they need more space to store them while they're doing that. So right now, the first phase is mostly on the logistics side, I think, and basically reopening the plant. But then they did say they say they're having another phase that would be much larger, but we'd have to get them wastewater down there as well to do that.
There's no place for put another spur in. Like your building, there's not enough. I guess I've never paid any attention.
By their building down there, or
Yeah, but
yeah. So what they're going to be doing is they're putting switching equipment right at the crossing. So, and BNSF tells me you can't cross. Well, if the equipment's in there, then you can't cross there. That's what they're saying.
and I'll tell you something. The railroad, if they get a chance, they'll close every crossing in the country.
there's a lot of it in
Think
more
nothing
places.
about it. All they got to do is get their foot in and get somebody to go along with them.
Well, I think that's kind of what they've already done.
Essentially, that is what it is.
I think they use the flood as a emergency to close the crossing.
So I'm gonna ask Jake, because I don't know, and maybe he can shed some more light on this crossing. Has the railroad contacted you as far as asking for vacating this area so that they can close it? We as a county have not done anything as far as closing the road and stuff. They've just put up barricades and not allowed anybody to cross their tracks.
Yeah, I don't know I wasn't here when they originally closed it, but my understanding is just the flood, they closed it and I don't know, I haven't seen any documentation where they talked to the engineer at the time and it was a mutual agreement or anything.
Yeah, we've never been
They
notified
just
of anything.
Closed it
I
and
just assumed it was
I
open.
don't know if it was, I think, was it you I talked to one time out on the road?
We talked about that in Silver City last year. I mentioned to you, hey, while you're here.
I ran into someone down there, right, down on a dead end. And, but yeah, they said, how's the railroad have the authority to close this? Who authorized or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know it was even closed.
Same here, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
looking back, it's been closed since 2019. Oh, just talking to some of the guys said, yeah, they closed it during the flood.
So can they use that as, you say we want this, the farmers want this open, we'd like to have it open for transportation uses, mainly for ag purposes or other, you're gonna have trucks going in and out and they'll come back and say, well, it's been closed since 2019. We don't feel it's viable. Well, when you start talking with the railroad, you don't ever get a straight answer. And it takes years to get an answer.
And it's hard for somebody like me to talk to the railroad because they don't give you an answer.
They don't care about the counties either.
They don't care about us either.
Yeah.
I mean,
They don't care about anybody.
Kind of a sovereign.
Richard, why can't the county say, hey, here's the deal. We're not gonna close that crossing. We have no idea what you was pulling. And we want that open. And you've got so much time to get this open. And just put it down to them straight. That's exactly what I do. I would never let them bluff me. Never. So I call their bluff. So you put barricades up on our road, but you had no business putting barricades anywhere without permission. That'd be like me going putting a barricade up on a road and blocking the road off. How long do you think that would work for me doing that?
I'm looking at Jake. He's got.
I agree.
I'm not trying to pass the buck.
How long Jake can bring a bulldozer out, pull it out.
I'm not a big fan of the railroad. I mean, you guys know I'm dealing with them on
I
bridge
retired from the
replacement.
railroad.
And just even the county, we're emailing them twice a week and it took over 6 months to get a permit.
Pardon me?
Was it BN or UP?
Both.
No, I totally agree with you, Donnie. I mean, but the railroad just seems, you can call them up, you can talk to them, and I don't know, they don't pay attention, they don't care.
Get a hold of the head guy and pester him to death. I'll guarantee you something will be done. Because they're in that position not because they're smart, because they knew somebody and moved them up the ladder. So I'd be on that phone continually. Say, hey, you gotta get that crossing fixed, get that barricade out. You can't block our road upon yourself. It's up to the county to tell you whether you can or whether we want it blocked or whatever. But it's been going on. What, Matt? It was open, wasn't it, 19 after the flood?
It was open directly after the flood. I think it was spring of 20 when they closed it.
Yeah. So.
And I
They just took
suppose,
it upon themselves too.
it's deteriorated now to where it would have to be redone.
The railroad, the crossing that they make, Richard, is no more than railroad ties.
Right.
That are screwed to the railroad ties for the tracks.
Right.
And there's ballast on both sides of it. It isn't a nice crossing. But when you want to use it, it's
So you can use it.
It's a lot handier than going out around.
Yeah, well, you see,
and coming back in.
yeah, this is the main line right here.
Yeah, you can tell there's no crossing.
And there's no, so this is raised above the road level. So the road, like you could probably take farm equipment over it, I would imagine, but you probably can't.
But you could.
You can't take a car over it, right now. But so, yeah, these are the ties in between that are deteriorated. So what they want to do is put switching equipment that moves back and forth in there. And so they would have to remove those ties.
Andrew, are they intending to put more siding on the east side?
I don't know. I don't think so. So we're doing,
They wanna have switches in here, because there are no switches.
right,
Except on the ends,
right. And so I think,
extreme north and south.
what I think happens is maybe this might be theirs right here, or maybe this is United Suppliers.
They share.
Yeah,
They
so what they want to have more ability to, because they're gonna have more traffic and more ability to bring cars down and then kind of stack more of them here. So, and then I think Fee will have their own person down there that can pull cars over and then transload. They'll have some kind of machinery down here that'll be able to empty the cars and put them on the trucks and things like that, and stuff like that. So whether it's castings or whatever they're getting from Bungie or things like that they're taking off of there, but
I know from my standpoint, at least, and I know you probably can't answer this question, but why does BNSF want to put the switches right there?
I've asked
If that's, can you go 100 yards to the south of
yeah,
that?
I asked that question and yeah, if we can I zoom out on this? Yeah. So they said that I don't know if it's their protocol or their design standards or whatever, but basically it's pretty much halfway in between here. So they said by standard, that's where you would put them. That's basically what they told me. So that they could stack more this way and stack more that way, I guess. But I did ask that question, can we put it someplace else? And they said that's where they go. So we're finishing up a study that we got a grant from the IDOT to look at creating a transloading, a larger regional transloading facility in this area potentially for that. And so that'll be done later this summer, and it'll just be it's just conceptual in nature, and it'll look at how we potentially put in more siding on the east side, and then maybe it would involve buying ground, probably I think probably some of Don's ground, and maybe extending it down here. Ultimately, the initial plan that the designers are putting together includes putting a road, I think, of the access up to 221st.
It ran up almost to your strip,
Yeah, so I think the access up to 221st for that would be right over here, I believe. So, I mean, that would involve one, getting somebody to come in here, buying ground, building a facility. So it's not like it's something the county is going to do themselves.
Andrew, when you say road, is that would be a public road?
I think that's what the idea is right now. So we're trying to put together a concept and then take it out to people and say, hey, here's what would work here. Would you somebody consider coming doing that? Because I know part of our study is also looking at the needs of the area, the region from a transloading perspective, and there's always been a thought that Bean has a facility kind of south of Omaha that's down on the river. It's not very big. So kind of the idea is, can we convince somebody to come build another one down here? But that would ultimately, I'm sure at that point we would need to close the crossing, or Ian wouldn't let us do it until we did. But so I guess it's one day maybe we would like to see a road through that part right there, but it wouldn't be related to this project.
Right.
Yeah.
So Andrew, you mentioned, Fleet Energy was gonna bring in 60, 80 trucks coming in daily. Is that gonna be over on the west side of this track system then?
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be down
on our code.
195th through that the east side. So I know the capital investment is in somewhere between $10 and $40 million. Probably, I think they've got. I'm guessing on the lower end of that.
Well, I think you should talk them into going across the crossing. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to make this thing. You gotta have something to give to the railroad or something in order to get their attention. And
I know it's a convenience to the railroad to close it. I know it'd be a convenience to Feed Energy to have it closed. Where's my convenience? Where's Don's convenience? Where's the sergeant's convenience?
And I understand, yep,
We've been there a long time too. We're not talking the same amount of money that Feed Energy's talking, but,
We've been there a while.
I don't know, I get a real problem with somebody closing a road like that without anybody getting any permission or doing anything about it. That bothers me. I don't care if
To
it's.
be honest, I'm on the same boat as you. It's more convenient for our maintainers to go right through. And so originally I wanted to open it, and then that's right when I was getting ready to contact Railroad, they reached out and said, hey, what do you think about closing this? And then talking to Andrew. So I mean, seeing the bigger picture, I see the value of bringing jobs to the area.
Oh, absolutely.
Stuff with that.
I don't think I can compete with that.
But from a selfish reason, I would like to see it open too.
I'd like to see
for
it.
our own maintenance personnel don't have to go around too.
I understand how things go. But that has to be usable for us as well. If that railroad crossing was closed permanently, we've got to have a way to move our crop off that ground and get it to town. That means those roads are not wide enough for us to load. And I'm specifically talking about harvest season. Those roads are not wide enough to load trucks on the road from an all-way. It's just not possible. You can't go to the end of that, to the railroad crossing, and turn around with the semi. That's not possible.
and the thing is,
A year that is not dry, we can't go into the field with our trucks.
this is not just happening in Mills County.
No,
It's all over the state.
Yes, sir.
And there are county supervisors that, you know, it's like pulling your hair out. What do you do? The railroad don't care. And you can talk to them
And that's, yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start, Richard.
well, I'll tell you, the next one they really
And they
would
like
like
it
to
that way.
close is right out by Steve Rome's.
Yeah, and that directly affects me as well.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's a crummy intersection. I mean, that makes that.
Well, the worst
I mean,
crossing
I'd
is
rather
you
go over that one the way it is.
Yeah. So,
That one's
you know,
terrible.
no, they're really drawing down and tightening down the counties, you know, like for instance, that one there, you're talking 5-6 miles around with the load to get back to the bin site at Steve's farm,
Yes,
let alone go from Steve's place to his land,
yes,
you know?
yes.
At one time, they was wanting to develop that in there. Richard, is that still in the plans?
From our,
I mean, develop, that piece of ground I got.
Yep.
To the east, from Matt Farms. The ground I got on the west side, all that, they was talking about putting another spur in there, and all kinds of stuff. Is that still in the plan someplace along the line, or?
yeah, I think that's related to the grant that we got to do that study. So we're kind of doing some high level pre-design stuff for it, and it would depend on someone to come in and build it. So it wouldn't be the county that would be doing the project. It would be a private investor that we would attract to come.
Here's my other question. Is that a wise idea, that crossing be closed? Say, hey, there's one way in and one way out.
That's part of what we're looking at there. There will need to be another road in and out of there, but it would probably be from the south, not from the west. So then it'd give you access to Old Lambert there, or 221st or whatever. I don't know exactly what that section is on the curve, but it would probably go there and then to the viaduct.
Well, it's putting a bind on your emergency people and stuff, so.
There's a bunch of surprises me anymore, Tom.
Yeah, right now it's all conceptual. We would, the county or the.
Yeah, nothing's in concrete yet.
Yeah, but I think just there is value there to rail users, obviously, and there's a diminishing number of sites across the metro area that can get good access to rail.
And it's my understanding too, that the railroad only will come off of the the north-south main line. They will not come off with siding on the east-west.
It must, because all the plans that they've kind of put together for us are along that line. So,
They used to come off that east and west with a
Used to,
BRE.
Right.
They'd come in and set us up and.
Right.
And, we had several tracks down there. Plus,
used to be a neat place down there. When I was a kid, my grandpa was a switchman, and on Saturday mornings, I'd go ride in the switch engines.
And they are, I would add, the BNSF would offer the county $10,000 to do things like signage and stuff like that. Obviously, it's very nominal.
And then it requires to pay him $15,000 to have a flagger down there.
Yeah, they were here, they would probably want that mentioned.
Yeah.
what's the chances of getting on somebody and say, hey, why don't you put some ties back in there and get that thing open? So the farmers can use it and other people can use it also. I mean, you're talking with a crew in there and the equipment, probably a day, wouldn't you think?
Probably not even that.
Yeah. And have it open.
I asked him, I said, if this project doesn't happen, would you do that? And, I can look up to see exactly what they said, but it was kind of a roundabout no.
Well, you know, even, I don't know how far you can even push it, a seasonal deal where you know, in the fall of the year.
That crossed my mind too, Richard. I mean, even if it was just a fall thing, you keep it open October to Thanksgiving or something like that,
Right.
that'd probably do me.
Well, then spring too, because you.
A couple of weeks in the spring is all.
Yeah. Get your planting and stuff done, and the sprayers, they can come in from the other side pretty easy, and
That's right. I mean,
so,
I'm not asking for
I know you're not
I'm not
asking
asking for 55-mile-an-hour crossing. It's never been that. But I would like to be able to cross them.
I work with their economic development lead, and he said he believes the cost of repairing or the crossing is determined by an associated agreement, which he doesn't define what that is. And typically the customer/community is responsible for the installation costs.
I don't understand that part of it.
We mean
They're the one blocking the road.
And I don't
Assuming the road
know,
was there.
I don't know how it would work.
Railroad was probably thinking.
Railroad was
So
there
then maybe
before
that's
that.
our argument.
I don't know how
Even
it
if
would
it wasn't.
physically work with the raised, with the raised main line, how you would
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, Andrew, all it's missing is.
Because they're like
this.
You can, but you get high centered on it?
No,
Okay.
when they raised the main line after the 19 flood,
Yeah,
and there was a crossing then.
Yeah.
But and all they did was take the railroad ties out. All they need to do is put railroad ties.
oh, I
back
thought they
in,
raised
And
it up.
and it will be the exact same thing that was in
No,
2019.
I don't think they ever raised that down there.
They raised a little bit. When you do dive off, you dive off into the siding. The siding tracks will not raise.
Right, yeah. That's what I mean, when you come along, get the siding tracks,
It's not,
you could deserve.
the crossing out at Steve Ronfeld's, that Richard mentions, a lot worse than that.
Yeah, so that's, I mean,
Great.
all I can say is, I'll try and make contact with the railroad. I'll go through Andrew and stuff, see if we can get someone to come in here and sit down with us.
yeah,
Which I doubt we can do, but we can.
I got him on
Right.
Zoom once. His name's Jacob Brzezinski or something.
yeah, Jake is
He's
the,
He's a construction manager.
yeah, so I deal with their business development guy, and then there's another guy that we had, Jake, his name's also Jake, who, is their engineering side, I think. Jacob, I don't know.
And he's the one that
Resume.
I'm dealing with on 400th Street this whole time, so you guys know how that process.
First name basis.
Yeah.
Jason sent Christmas cards.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, Jake sent us a closing agreement, so we have a draft of the closing agreement for you already if you wanted it, but, so, yeah, and, I mean,
But how they get by with doing things and never saying anything, I mean, it's just,
They're the railroad.
there's railroad, I know, it just,
It's been interesting to see people will pull down there with semis and then have to back all the way out.
mile and a,
To do that, that's about 3/4 of a mile.
yeah.
Well, same thing, they
Yeah.
emailed me the day before, so we're closing Bungie tomorrow at 7 AM. I was my traffic controller. I mean, I can't say no. I mean, they have a lot of power.
well, gentlemen, that's the best we can do you today, I'm sorry, but that's,
It's like I said, we're not asking for any action or anything like that.
Right.
so.
Thank you for
Andrew,
your
thank you.
input.
You've filled us in a lot. Richard, Lonnie, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
No,
Good
You were
to
the
see
one
you.
was
Andrew.
looking at the bridge. Is that right?
Yeah, over
Okay,
towards
now-
Silver City. You remember that? Yeah.
What road is it off of again?
Pardon?
If they can't do that any longer than 10 minutes, then
What's that?
how
road?
can they do it for 5
I
years?
can't tell you because that was my uncle's farm.
Oh, yeah.
I just sent
Yeah,
that
a bunch
to
of
Jake.
We were doing a harvest week for my uncle. And they were worried about the integrity of that bridge,
Yeah.
driving how much across, no problem. We made it. You shed some light on that I didn't know, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't remember that road.
Can't remember that road either.
Well, how do I get back there?
If you're on top of if you're at the cemetery in Silver City and look east.
Yeah.
You're looking at the train there. You're looking at.
Oh, right.
You're looking at.
On that right now.
I know where it is.
It's up to you guys. That was just in there as a safety precaution if you needed it.
I wanted something on there if we wanted to go ahead.
Yeah.
and do it from there.
Bill Mansell, because he's right across the road.
If we ignore it.
Yeah, good seeing you.
I think, thanks, Matt.
Thank you. What's an IRM truck?
Yeah, so I know.
I'm starting to comply and not say IRBM. I'm trying.
When you get the acronym down, they'll change it again on you.
Basically,
Carol's done?
Yeah.
Okay,
2003.
so it's a 2003. They're asking 48.9.
Can I interject before we go any further?
Yeah.
The truck that hauls, asphalt and stuff,
Go patch.
coal patch. and
Ours,
stuff,
yeah.
They need to clean their turn signals. I followed them yesterday, you couldn't see either one of them come on from the back. They just need a good wash job,
You know.
or they might be out, I'm not
We're in a
sure.
safety meeting tomorrow and I have a video and a topic about pre-trip inspections. And they would know that if they did it.
Good job.
So that would be perfect. And tell them what
Fit.
They should go school bus first. No, I'm sorry, but that,
no, that's stuff I need to know. Okay. So yeah, we kind of have been keeping our eyes open. We have budgeted $60,000 for an ERM truck. And we found this one up in Blair, and Kyle and Mark went and looked at it and didn't see any issues with it. It's an older truck, 2003. That's actually one of the things we really like about it. It doesn't have all the emission stuff on it. All of our trucks that have, like our truck that hauls our belly down. I mean, it's our biggest problem vehicle. We have it since 2014. It's decent miles, but it's just constantly down. It's always the DEF stuff, the EGR, it's all the emission stuff. And even Mark's like, I would be more interested in getting an older vehicle and overhauling it than getting a brand new one. That's down the road. But anyways, this one is older, it doesn't have all that, and it was completely overhauled 10,000 miles ago. The tires are new. We don't have to do anything to it other than put our emblem on it, really. I mean, it's ready to go. It's definitely, it's a little bit bigger than what we actually need, but we don't also have to use it just for the IRBM. I mean, for the haul stuff, what's really good about it too is those sides right there. When we haul waddles, those you have to strap down and stuff. I mean, just the stuff that we haul is really gonna be nice to put on there. Need something bigger to haul that hydro seeder around. And I mean, this is something that will be more than enough for us under budget. He said he'd take 46 already. We're gonna try and whittle him down to 44.
Yeah.
Just because he offered 46, that wasn't even his wheeling and dealing, so we're thinking we can squeeze a little bit more out.
He's already got down 46?
Yeah.
All right, I'd make a motion to move forward. It is in your budget, correct?
Yeah, we budgeted 60,000 after July 1st, of course.
I'd make the motion to move forward with the purchase of the used truck up to $46,000.
I'll second the motion. We have a motion made and seconded to purchase a used IRM truck for 46,000. Is that all right?
Yep.
46,000.
As long as they don't read that, because there goes our leverage for negotiating.
Just get it negotiated before next week, before we approve them.
Yeah.
Is there any more discussion? No? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Discussion items. Do you guys have them on yours?
No,
Do you have them on yours?
no, she didn't give them to me.
One I know is the Malvern shop. So that's in, we have in our budget after July 1st getting that replaced. We've talked about that. We had a quote from Mark Hughes. He said he needed updated a little bit from when we got it a few months ago because concrete prices have gone up. And kind of going through that, I double checked because we have bid thresholds for the Iowa DOT, horizontal structures versus vertical. And vertical structure as a building, the bid threshold is 196,000. Mark Hughes is at like 168. So when he said it's going to go up, I wanted to revisit that. And when I was doing that, I realized that there's also a quote threshold, competitive quote. So we're above the competitive quote, but below the bid threshold for estimate. So we have to go through the competitive quote. So I read through the Iowa code following that. So it's more formal than what we're doing, but a lot less formal than the putting out for bid and letting and all that. Basically, I typed up a letter, just said, I used Mark Hughes, everything he said he was going to do. I put that in our letter. Hey, this is what we're looking to do, this size building, all of this included. And then a signature line. And then they don't have to split it out into each item, just what the total cost is. So I sent that out because you got to get at least two. I just sent it to everybody that we sent it for this garage, Mark Hughes included, and Astro, stuff like that. And set July 8th to have those quotes submitted to us. So once we get that, then I'll come in and then we'll go through them and get moving forward on that. Perfect.
Okay, I pulled it up. So you've got safety meeting and employment contract.
Oh, yep, safety meeting tomorrow. If you guys want to stop by for potluck lunch.
Lunch is at 11:30.
We shoot for 11:30. Yep. Matt Gray's coming down, doing fire safety training, and then
Wednesday, tomorrow.
Yep. And then I'll do my spiel. We're gonna touch on flagging, a little bit of heat stress, a little bit severe weather, and then I always do county updates with them. So just kind of go through all the projects and housekeeping items, company nurse. One thing we're doing too, we're gonna do annual driver's license checks. That's one thing that we didn't get caught in a bind, but we realized, maybe we could, because we take, photocopies when we hire them and all that. They do have the Iowa DOT clearinghouse, which should notify us on some of the stuff, but just as an extra measure, someone was looking at their license and said, oh crap, mine expires in 2 weeks. And so they heard everyone got it. So to make sure that management, the office staff are staying on top of that, I'm just gonna get everybody's license tomorrow, scan them, put them in their file, and just do that once a year. So that's what we got going on tomorrow.
Cool.
Another big topic, obviously, is flooding right now. So yesterday, Ted Mental's been in great contact with me.
Oh, yeah.
Clay Lincoln, he's been in good contact with me, so reaching out to both of them. Went through the parks yesterday. Mental's looks phenomenal. I mean, textbook, like take a picture, send it to the DNR. This is what the whole state should look like. Lincoln's is good. It's not as good as Mental's. It's not exactly how I'd want it. And so I texted them. They got all the campers out. There was one left, and the truck arrived to get it while I was leaving. So
good.
That should be out fine. Their lots had more stuff on it, and it's stuff that I would have liked to see removed. So I told Clay we'll address it after this fact. They strapped it all down, they cabled it, they secured it, so it should all be fine technically. But at the same time, I know if the DNR was there, they'd say, no, this is stuff that should have went. Like, a lot of those people down there have those wooden spools for tables and stuff. Those are things, some people left their grills. Just those are all kind of things that should have been loaded up and hauled out rather than strapped to a tree. So we're still working with the DNR on that. They were heavily involved, if you guys remember, down there. And now they've kind of backed off, and now I'm at the point, I'm like, I know what they want, but I'm also kind of afraid to get them back involved because it's better if they're hands off, you know? They have delegated Mills County floodplain manager, myself, to handle all that, so that's kind of where we're at the point now. We've submitted our permit to, they call it an as-built permit for the rentals. We submitted that, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, so I haven't heard back from them. But I still need to go through that whole process with the Wickets too, so working with them. They got me pictures, but we still need to do our inventory and kind of walkthroughs and stickers. But overall, looking good. We've got signs ready to close roads if we need to. Hopefully the levees hold. If the levees hold, yeah.
This goes over.
Huh?
This goes over.
The projections show it won't.
Yeah.
Those badgers aren't good friends of the levees.
They're not. They're really not. Gophers, badgers, coyotes.
What?
You just walked out. They'll be back.
Okay, anything for me, Richard?
Oh, I've had some people complain about mowing, and I says, you know, we've had a lot of moisture and stuff. I says, guys are busy grading roads. Oh, okay. End the conversation, so. We might have some intersections we should probably be looking at, you know, where you're sitting here in the grasses.
Yeah.
Or if you're looking, trying to look up through the grass and things, there might be some we need to look at, but other than that, we do have a dead end road. Maybe I should just call Rod and say, hey, go blade this, because the other day when I went down it, there's 2 tracks, it's got gravel and the rest of it's solid grass. I mean, it looks like a cow path.
What road is it?
I think it's Lambert. It's off of 290th. Just tell him it goes past Mike Hopp's grain bin. He'll know where it's at.
Okay.
I mean, if he'd come in and blade it now, we wouldn't have it, because if he waits another 2-3 weeks on that grass, it'll be spotted so bad that it'd be like last time, it'd be clumps as big as this table. What we really need to do is just spray it with Roundup, forget it. I'm serious. That's what I would do with it. I would go out and just spray the road with Roundup, kill the grass. Won't hurt anything. Tom won't care.
I'm barely hanging on.
You got 1 more piece left. You might make it back to the office.
Like you said. So, okay, that's what I'm dealing with. Travis still here?
You just stepped over there.
I don't know if you had any flood stuff to talk about.
He probably
Here
will
he
once
comes.
we
It looks
adjourn.
like he's walking back over. Was Travis coming in to talk?
Whether he wanted to talk or just give us a little report.
Yeah.
Did he go back downstairs?
Katie's asking.
But also to the mowing point, hopefully next week we can have our seasonal mower start.
Are you guys ready for Serena?
Yep, there's some.
Sabrina.
I don't know why.
Sabrina's not on the agenda. Does she
Was
need
she-
something?
The insurance under Board of Supervisors is what she's in here for.
Oh,
Give me
Oh.
1 second, because I have a call from ICAP's call, so.
That's fine.
Okay,
We're not, they're gonna get together and visit about it, so we're not gonna act on anything right now.
okay.
She wanted Travis and me to talk to you about our experiences with Asia.
Okay.
So.
Bonnie, was it you that said John Thomas was leaving Homewood Canyons?
No, but I did hear that the other day.
Because I heard that.
You and I were having the discussion. We were together when someone was telling us.
I don't know who, but I
Was it
still
a-
have not received any word from him
Right.
directly. We have a Hungry Canyons meeting on Friday, but no emails. I talked to another county engineer.
He was the one that kept that afloat. It was him and
They
another
hadn't heard it at all.
state guy that was doing it.
Yeah, he's been with it since,
Yeah, and since the
since they made
inception.
it.
Yeah.
Well, if it is true, I guess nothing official's been sent out yet.
Right.
So,
well, I heard he was leaving, but I thought everybody knew about it. You know, I don't know whether he's moving on or he's retiring. Nobody seems to know. And then Tara quit Golden Hills. She's going to the Alice group. I'm not sure where they're gonna organize out of. I hope it's someplace here in southwest Iowa.
I don't know what to do with that, that grant we're trying to get.
Yeah.
Meeting. I had emailed Sean again, say where we're at, and basically says kind of we're dead in the water.
Well, Sean needs a little uplifting. Quite a bit of, face-to-face. You gotta get this done.
Carol was good at that.
Yes.
And so, yeah. But I don't know, I think also the biggest problem is that everybody at the NRCS is new. And I think the main person that, I don't know, handles it, whatever, he was promoting against it to landowners and stuff, is what I had heard. Saying, because he didn't fully understand it, that, just do this program instead, which is fine for the landowners, but then it didn't help us out.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's, because I have it in our budget, it's next year, half of that project, we get that half match.
It's a good program.
I could take it to Hungry Canyons, but it's not gonna be, I think 180,000 is the max they will supply. Maybe we're hoping to get 300,000. So.
Our Alice program, it got canceled the other day because we couldn't get a quorum. Like everything else this time of year, just too many things going on, so.
While you're waiting for them, do you guys just want to set a time for his, like, 11:10?
Yeah, your contract, you have a rough draft of that yet?
I don't have rough draft, just kind of want to talk about it. I have the old one. I'm not looking to change much, so. Can review that. Just discussion item, and then if we agree to something, then we can do a contract, and then Mike Galloway
You guys-
probably redo it.
And so you guys can do that after.
We'd like to keep you, so.
That's good.
Yay! A win-win.
I think we're gonna make this about a 10-year contract.
We sure can. They can pay us back.
I think they got
Well,
25 years
if
left
he
for
can't get his
retires.
job done, he,
Well, there you go.
give us a little back,
Lock 'em in.
I don't know.
I'd say if you would have come to us with a rough draft, I would welcome it. We can do our negotiations or discussion formal in closed session versus if we had to, or one-on-one. We just act
I
on
don't know
it.
if we can,
You can.
but we could do one-on-one. I don't know those rules for sure.
John said he could do before, so.
Well, we could go either way. We could either open or close the doors, whatever you would like or whatever
Yeah,
we
it's your
would like.
call. And we're wide open looking at you, Jacob, so.
Whichever. Yeah, I like to discuss today kind of what I'm thinking and then my only reason for doing it at the end or when less people are here, just because I thought if it's out there, someone like Brad Meyer show up and just, it wouldn't be productive. That was the only thing.
We're recording.
It was giving some hassle to it.
Mhm.
I know,
Other than that, I'm good.
You can see which road.
I don't know what we're waiting on.
What's your proposed salary?
I'm a good salesman, I have to provide you.
You have to write it down.
You just, I think we were told they told me lunch, so I think,
137.
okay. Sold.
That's too easy.
Got those numbers backwards. 731.
1.37, yeah, we're good.
Well, I had a meeting yesterday with Nick Productions and Sherry says, well, I got good news and bad news. The federal government's found all this ARPA money. It's not spent. So we're gonna end up with somewhere around 500,000.
When he says we're, it's not the county, it's Nishna Productions. It's good then.
With 500,000 to go to employees. That it can't be paid in salary.
Bonuses?
Mhm.
I would say, you know, if that's the way they're looking at this, there'd be people buying new cars with one check.
Throw some good networking parties.
You know, some of the stuff they've come up with, I'll tell you. And where all this come from all at once, nobody seems to know. They've come up with all this ARPA money for different organizations, where it was at.
That's surprising that they wouldn't just funnel it somewhere else and say, yeah, we never have it.
Well, that's what we was thinking, you know. And we still got some money left over from ARPA that we haven't spent yet.
Any of those ring a bell to you, Richard? Hilton, Embassy, Hampton, Home 2.
In Tampa.
Yeah, that's where NACO is this year.
Well, where we're at with the 400th Street Bridge, with that right now. I think I told you guys last time. So our permit doesn't cover utility relocation. So Mid-American Energy has to get their own railroad permit to move their line. And that's causing some problems because where they want to put the temporary pole, well, they have to get their own easement from the landowner. But then they also will have to remove some trees. Well, then there's an Iowa DOT spec that says you can't cut trees before October 1st. I believe because of the endangered bat. So even if we get our railroad permits and everything, I think we're still looking at October 1st, the very earliest, before we can start. And we're looking at then just boring it, so we don't have to go on the landowners, but then the new bridge is wider, and then there's battered pile, which is at an angle, and they're afraid that one of those piling could catch the line if they bore it. So still exploring options.
Right.
They want to just do the overhead, get the easement, and then go to the railroad. I also said if they bore, the railroad requires cross section.
So, yeah.
Cross section. So then the surveyor has to get a railroad permit to go in and survey it.
Mhm.
And then the
To
Mid-American
monitor it.
has to get their railroad permit to actually do the work.
And then you all have to pay the railroad inspector to do that.
Well, you know, they're keeping everybody in business, aren't they?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I help themselves. So what do we got left for you? You want to set a date for a discussion or put it on the agenda for next week for a formal action or anything else you'd like to add other than your number?
We really need to get it in the system, so, I mean, if you guys just want to, at least, we've agreed at the amount, I'm assuming.
I'm good with it.
Discuss formal action next week, but we know what we can get in,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want me to submit a draft like midweek or something?
As soon as you can get it
The
earlier.
the
the
only
better.
thing I would change is, the salary, and then with this flood stuff, I've been reviewing FEMA reimbursement. So my current contract says that
If you put it in there, then you
come
can,
over,
yep,
well, I'm just gonna eliminate it actually, because it says that I can get overtime since it's reimbursable by FEMA, but FEMA actually won't reimburse it because it goes by policy before. I don't get overtime right now, so I can't enact.
Kevin
a new
didn't
policy.
either, so yeah,
So I'm just gonna remove that,
perfect.
and then just salary.
You'll still be our
What would
floodplain
your
manager though.
overtime rate be?
His hourly salary, you can probably word that in there.
But it would have to be what I normally operate on. And I'm salary, so I have overtime.
You can't
So there's
create
no
it.
point in putting that in there because ultimately it's not reimbursable, so it's just kind of extra fluff.
So would you want this, just to clarify some things before we put this on the agenda, would you want it open or a closed session to discuss this? Or we can put it on there,
You can
and
say
then
yeah,
if
possible
you
closed
don't want it,
Then
we
you can
don't
call
have
for it
to.
during the meeting if you want to.
I guess that's fine. I don't see any need to have closed.
Okay.
That's I'm not concerned. If anyone has questions, I have stuff to back up everything. You know, as to why and justify everything, so.
I'd say possible closed session just because.
Just safeguard it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, sir.
All right. So submit a draft early and then you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike review it.
Yeah, get a draft to us.
And he reviewed the last ones.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
See you in the morning.
He'll be there at
Well, I wanna
11:30.
make sure he's gonna do all this work he said he's gonna do.
You know he's gonna. You just want to see the food. You got to bring food.
Well,
to
A
eat food.
safety meeting? What do you usually take?
I don't take nothing but my body.
Fork?
That's
Yeah, I take a
terrible.
good fork.
No, that's not true. Ken won't let you in the door without food if you're planning to eat.
I'm coming through the shop. You
There
won't
you
let me
go.
in anyway.
Good. All right,
Thanks,
we'll
Jake.
see you guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
You're up, guys.
Okay,
Ooh.
so we have new developments since our meeting because of the statements made during the meeting about,
Are you with her? You come on up.
yeah. For one, he does have the exact same access as I have to submit claims. He chooses to email. There is the delay in the email. This is straight from Casey, who came here last week. I called again to make sure. We can change our building amounts at any given time. ICAP does not set those amounts. So like our building only having 7,000, that is not, we can make it what we want it to be. She said there's no cap as far as making changes. ICAP does not say and
Well,
set
if you
those
got a
rates.
replacement cost, just get it to Aaron and then he can upgrade our policy.
How would I
Check quick.
mean,
I don't know. I mean,
but Aaron this morning said that he can't change the buildings.
he said I can't make the call for replacement cost, so.
He
gets
said
the square
ICAP set
footage,
but it's not
by the square footage.
right. And when I talked to Casey, she said that that isn't the case.
Get with Aaron and figure that out because I don't wanna have him leave and then come back and
Well-
then have something else and then you leave and then him come back. Let's do this all together. I would just assume you get with Aaron and ICAP and figure it out.
Okay, so are we gonna stay with Aaron then? Am I gonna?
For now.
At this time.
For
yes.
now.
Till we
Well-
get this stuff straightened out, I don't think this is the time to change the
Yeah.
horses.
Well, I did find out that he did submit it without our signatures on it. So all of these numbers that are in here are what's in here. So, I mean,
Kenny,
I don't know.
the way he talked, they could, but I would ask ICAP that too. That's-
Right.
You guys are got a meeting coming up this week or next week.
Well, he
whatever.
hasn't called ICAP yet.
Well, yeah, but he just left an
So-
hour ago, right?
Right, but these numbers, I mean, you can see what the difference is from last year to this year of wherever these numbers came from. That's gonna be a huge increase in our insurance.
It probably will be. That's why we
Huge.
need to get it done soon. Yeah, with
But if it's
ICAP
already
and-
submitted, I don't know if we can change it now because it was submitted with no signatures.
Well, we need to figure that out. So we need to meet with Aaron and ICAP, figure that out and get back to us immediately.
Okay,
'Cause we
do
need to
you
know
want
that.
me to take that then? Or-
With Aaron and ICAP, all three of you together.
So Casey,
I don't want to have you talk to one and then have him talk to another.
Right.
And then do the back and forth thing. I want to do it together, figure it out quickly.
Do you want to come back here? Because we're not gonna have a meeting till after. So do you want me to find out if we can change it and then let you know?
Sure.
Because we were under the assumption when we first started this is if we do change, we had until July 1st because nothing had been submitted. Well, now he had gone ahead and submitted it. So I don't know what we need to do now.
That's
That's
an
why I'm
answer.
saying.
We can't answer you.
Right.
We can't answer that either. So that's a question for you and Aaron and ICAP to figure out together quickly,
Okay.
soon.
If it cannot be changed, do you report back to you or what do you?
Yes, I mean, if we're undercovered or overpaying, then we'll need to know. But
Okay. And
do
you
it-
want all
do-
three to come
do
in
it
for a
with-
meeting for that?
Do it with ICAP and Aaron,
Okay.
please. I want
Oh,
everyone on the
George.
same page.
Okay. So will you forward those changes to me so that we can sit down with
These?
ICAP and Aaron and make those changes
These?
from all the departments?
hang on.
Department. I don't want you to handle the county's insurance. I want you to handle your department with them.
So do you want Amy to be in the meeting?
I
That's why I want to make
I
sure.
leave this afternoon, but you can grab Jolene.
Julie and
Okay.
Katie, someone from the auditor's office.
Okay. I just want somebody else with me
I
for the next
highly
2
agree.
days if
Understand.
they're gonna
As
be
do
doing
I.
everybody
Yeah.
else.
As do I,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
But you only handle your department. I don't want you handling Jacobs or Patrick's
So
or
you'll
anyone
bring
else's
everybody else's
insurance.
down? Do I need to get the other department heads together in the next
You
2
do not
days?
need to.
Do you need to get to, I just want to make sure we're
Yeah.
not gonna have another meeting.
When you figure out when you're having your meeting and stuff, then get a hold of the office and we'll reach out to the other departments and make sure that at some point, everybody needs to have their own hand in their
Each department
responsibility.
head will-
Right.
Each department head will meet with them. I don't
Right.
want, I don't want one department handling another department.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You get with them and take care of your department and move on to the next one, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
We will together, but we'll do it with ICAP and Aaron.
Okay.
And
So we'll
ICAP
set
said
up
they're
that
coming down here to do a walkthrough. I'm gonna require that Aaron are with them, that way, or at least report back and forth, that way that everyone's on the same page.
Okay.
I don't want a bunch of people working on several different things or the same thing and then coming together and not being a
With different
team. I
answers.
want us to be a team and do it together with who we work with.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I agree. I just want to make sure we're getting the right information.
Right,
I
thank
agree.
you.
So,
That's why.
okay, perfect.
Thank you, ladies.
Awesome. As soon as I really need, I'll call.
We done?
I think we're done.
I would make a motion to adjourn at 11:18.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn at 11:18.